G'day guys, this is Feenixpawl, and you're listening to Release with Reelax.
The number you have reached has been disconnected. The new number is...
The phone booth.
All right, here we go in the phone booth. It's a great pleasure to welcome tonight good friends of ours here at Release and one of the greatest Australian tech stories of 2012. I'm talking to both Josh and Aidan from Feenixpawl. G'day, fellas.
Hi mate, good to hear from you. How are you going?
Yeah, good. Good to have you both in here and both at the same time. You guys are inseparable. I love it.
Yes.
Now, first off the bat, for those who don't know, I think this is probably a good chance, if you want, to explain to anyone out there, Feenixpawl name. Anything behind it? What does it mean? Is there some sort of secret ritual?
Oh, look, we get asked this a lot, and back when we sort of started out, we always had a different answer every time, just for a bit of fun. But that is just such hard work to have to come up with something every time someone asks, so then we just started telling the truth. No, the truth is it's our middle names. Like, my middle name's Paul, and Aidan's is Phoenix, which is a really cool middle name. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, we put the two together and changed the spelling and just created a word. We just wanted to create a unique word that meant something to us, but nothing to anyone else.
Well, it's certainly on everyone's lips and in everyone's ears at the moment. It's done you great. I mean, as we said, one of the biggest success stories of 2012 has been huge for you with the massive, in my mind, with, of course, the great Ivan Goff and amazing Georgie K and a little man like Axel doing a remix for you. This is just fantastic.
Yeah, so it's been amazing. Yeah, it's been a big surprise and turnaround for us from the start. Like, you know, we're in Mykonos when we first really met Ivan in the middle of the year. Didn't really have much going on, and then literally sort of a month and a half later, we were signed to Axtone. So it was weird, but it was awesome.
I mean, it's a dream, right? That's what you look for. I mean, you guys have been quite prolific anyway in your own rights. I mean, I know you're big on the bootlegs, sort of doing your own bootlegs for your own shows, which also got the attention of a lot of international fellas. I know Big Cascade is being a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good getting played like that, but I think for us bootlegs, it's kind of like waiting for that perfect remix that you never get. So why not just, you know, once you hear a song that you think needs a good remix, we just do it. And, you know, it's probably a little bit illegal to give them away. We try not to do that. But, you know, for our sets, you know, they're probably the biggest tracks that we end up playing. So, you know, that's something we're going to continue to do.
Now, going back to In My Mind, I mean, this thing, did you know you had some magic going on in the studio? It's one of those moments when you all just got those goosebumps and tingles going, wow, this is great.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what happened was we were sitting in Ivan's studio and Aidan played Georgie this little 4-chord progression, and as soon as she started singing over it, it took her a couple of minutes to write something, and we immediately sort of looked at each other and go, this is pretty good. And as the song developed, it didn't take terribly long to really develop into a track, and we had a good feeling about it. But and it wasn't until we sent it to Axe when he said he wanted it, that's when we knew we really did have something special.
Yeah, and I guess I love the fact that there's only the one mix. I mean, Axe has just turned out an absolute monster for you, and it's like, well, we're done. That's it. We don't need anything else.
Yeah, exactly. It's been really good. We still pinch ourselves every day.
Yeah. We are talking in the phone booth to two great guys, Josh and Aidan from Feenixpawl, out of Melbourne now, taking on the world by storm. You are making the big tour around Australia this year too. You're doing the massive Stereosonic tour for 2012, which must be fantastic to do it in your own backyard as well. I mean, you guys just said you've been overseas doing some great stuff, but to get to the big crowds in Australia, must be looking forward to that one. Yeah,
well, especially, because last year, Sydney was so ridiculous, 60,000, like, it's going to be really exciting. It's a little bit scary, not to play to the big crowds, but you see some of those guys on that bill, like, they can party, so it's a little bit that's going to get a bit loose, which is going to be a bit fun, but it's also a bit scary because, some of the dates, Sydney straight onto Perth, that's a long flight, especially if you're hungover, so we're going to try and play our set as best we can and sort of stay out of the way and sort of see what unfolds.
And I guess if you can make it through to Brisbane's the big one, so I think we'll be trying to look to do a bit of a wrap-up with you guys at Brisbane, see what happens, but we're looking forward to that. So check your gig guides to find out exactly the date so we can give us a call here to find out exactly where and when that tour is hitting your town. I guess now what's going on for you guys? I mean, I guess I imagine there'll be a lot of studio time happening for you. Is that the focus for you now?
Yeah, for sure. We just finished a track with Adrian Luck, and we're we've got a couple more with Ivan. We're actually sitting in the studio, in Ivan's studio at the moment.
Bang, the magic's happening.
No work getting done while we're doing this. So.
And we've got another original coming out soon. We can't give away too much information yet, but it'll probably drop in the next couple of months. But we're in the studio every day, so we're hoping to release a whole bunch of stuff in the next 6 months.
Yeah, we're compiling tracks,
Nice. Just holding the gold and just sending it out as is needed to the people. We like it. I guess congratulations too. It's got to be said that with this, in my mind, the massive success. It's one of those few dance songs that really made that difficult jump across to commercial radio. I mean, we hear the word EDM thrown around a lot these days, and what's being sort of put under that banner is a mishmash of all sorts. But you guys have done it, in Australia. Do you feel that sort of? I mean, I don't think that was your intention setting out. I mean, is that sort of pressure now, or at the back of your mind at least, to try and keep that up, or what? Where do you go from that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's really hard to.
How do you follow up something like that, especially considering that people actually think that In My Mind was the first thing we'd ever really done?
Yeah, right.
It isn't true. So, we don't want to follow it up. We're not trying to follow it up. We're just trying to make music we like and we think that other people will like. And, that's the sort of thing what happens when a track goes, as big as something like In My Mind. You're always going to get people saying it's not as good, or it doesn't even compare, and there's always going to be a little bit of hate. But, I'd rather that than have never made an In My Mind anyway. So we're just trying to make music, and, whatever happens. As long as we're happy, we don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great position to be in, really, if you look at it like that way, as you said. Like, it's something to have that problem, but it is still obviously something that will be on the mind of some people. Pardon the pun. We have been talking to Feenixpawl in the phone, but it's always a great pleasure to catch up with these lads. As we said, touring around the country, and it sounds like a lot of work to be done in the studio too. We're looking forward to hearing that. We'll keep you informed of the boys' progress. I'm sure they'll keep us in the loop. But before we go, fellas, we always like to ask, is there something you could put in a show for us?
To play?
Yeah.
We would love to hear an old one by Prida, Rack Funk.
For more, head to djrelax.com.